Sony's latest mobile game undertaking, run by subordinate company ForwardWorks Corporation, would be tapping into a sense of nostalgia by releasing mobile game versions of past PlayStation titles. The corporation, which launched in March this year, was created for Sony to explore further into the ever-expanding smart device market, hoping to replicate with its own gaming franchises the success of console rival Nintendo's Pokemon Go. Titles such as Everybody's Golf, which had its own first version launched in 1997, and puzzle game What Did I Do to Deserve This, My Lord, will both be published on smart device platforms next spring and summer, respectively. Role-playing games that were pioneers of its kind during the 90s, such as Ark, The Lad, and Wild Arms, will also be launched, but dates are still tentative. The only brand new title that was introduced was Sora to Umi no Ida, created in collaboration with game company Square Enix, featuring 6 girls learning to fish in space after all marine life forms have become extinct on Earth. Sony also revealed its newest gaming device, Project Field, which will allow players to enjoy card games in a new way. Project Field's release was not yet announced, but the company is in the process of developing a Sony tablet on which players can play electronic cards. Sony will release as many as 6 smartphone games in the financial year, starting April. Many of China's tech startups have started providing their employees with beds, making it possible to put in 14 to 16 hours of work a day and avoid a long daily commute. Some employees who work for recruitment and human resources platform don't make it home from Monday through to Friday. Liu stays overnight in a conference room that is now decked out with bunk beds, saving more than an hour from the office to his home in Beijing's far eastern suburbs.
I
think the sleeping at work is quite normal. As our boss always says, we're working up our ambitions, thus we won't feel tired.
As head of the key clients department, Liu rarely gets more than 8 hours of sleep, generally retiring to the room shared with 1 or 2 others between midnight and 3 a.m. He has to use the sink to wash his extremities for lack of shower or bath. While workers say the potential payoff of working at a startup is worth the long hours, it isn't without a social cost.
In terms of not being able to go home, the hardest part is that sometimes I can't see my child. But I think men should take some responsibilities and make achievements at work.
Elsewhere in the capital, cloud computing firm Beijing Cloud's office has had 12 bunk beds installed in a secluded dark corner, as well as gym equipment and various forms of entertainment. The company's chief marketing officer slept his way to the top. He got his start as a designer, pulling 72-hour shifts at a machinery company, catching naps on the floor. After a switch to the tech industry and roughly 15 years of intermittent late nights with naps on desks and other flat surfaces, he co-founded Beijing Cloud last year. Office workers sleeping on the job is a common sight in China, where inefficiency and the surplus of cheap labor can lead to downtime at work. Business is booming in China's technology sector. Some mid-sized banks, including China merchants, are investing into tech ventures, putting pressure on the startups to compete with each other. The World Heritage Site, west of Osaka last year, hosted almost 3 million visitors, a tenth of them from overseas. The old castle lately has received a high-tech makeover. An app operating on the same concept as Pokemon Go helps visitors better grasp the fortress' unique history. The technology of augmented reality, images overlaid on real scenery, is now available to visitors at Himeji Castle. It helps visitors navigate Himeji's turrets, towers, gates, and other defensive structures via augmented reality guideposts and reenactments. Visitors learn about Himeji's indigenous enemy-repelling architecture by aiming their smart devices, and the video appears showing warriors firing at foes through deceptively placed openings, flinging stones to ward off attackers.
Interestingly, it's a lot of scientific apps helping us to understand the history of the castle, and it's very interactive as well. It's the first time using this kind of app.
Very efficient, transportation.
Yes.
Very clean as well, and I think more importantly it's also very safe. I was just cycling here last night at midnight, and there were still people alone walking around in the park here. So it goes to show how safe it is in Japan.
An indicator of Japan's low crime rate is its huge array and near ubiquitous presence of vending machines. More than 5 million automated vendors operate nationwide.